Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Summit 2 by G2A.com, and we are right in it. It's the America Division, and we are in day number 5 of America. We got 5 best of ones for you today, and after a day off, I am ready to enjoy some quality Dota. Going to be joining me remotely, a good friend of mine, the model to my guy. It's going to be Travis Mott Bueno. My friend, are you there? Can you catch me right now?
I'm here.
Whoa, there you are. How's it going, my friend?
You know, I'm doing great, and like you, I've had a couple of days off from casting as well, and it's always great to get back in with some quality American Dota, and that's what we're going to see tonight. Sneaky Nyx Assassins versus Union Gaming. Like you talked about, there are 5 best of ones coming our way, and already we're well underway in the draft here. Terrorblade is going to be picked up for SNA. I do want to mention, though, you look at SNA's lineup, they have some stand-ins currently, some big names as well. Sheep Sucks, who you and I both have met.
Oh, yeah.
Former eHug player, and Brax as well, great player in his own right. They'll be going up against the Peruvian squad of Union Gaming.
Yeah, we're in a midst of what could potentially be quite the NA Dota shuffle, but nothing has been in stone yet. We're just going to have to be stuck with our theory crafting ways as far as what's actually happening. But yes, like you said, we are seeing some stand-in action here from some still top quality players. So Sneaky Nyx Assassins, who are one of the favorites to come out on top of this whole division, still should be able to hold strong here. But Union Gaming, they're a crafty, spicy group of players who can really surprise you. They do also have a notorious history going against such players as IX Mike, so this can be almost a small bit of a bitter rivalry, I guess you could say. So we'll see how it works out for them. And yeah, Terrorblade, man, what a dominant start right here from the side of Sneaky Nyx Assassins. They followed up with the Nature's Prophet. That's going to be what I would imagine being IX Mike's go-to in the off-lane. Union Gaming, they got the Watermelon Man, the Tide Hunter, and the Skywrath Mage is going to be their follow-up Platinum support grab. And really, I mean, we could talk about it every game, but I guess we can knock it out in game number 1. Skywrath Mage, man, we're going to be seeing this guy picked right off the bat for a long time. I mean, what bad things can you say? He's got an instant silence. He's got huge range to work with. His move speed is phenomenal. And just the burst potential he can put out there is ridiculous. And, you know, putting that against someone like Terrorblade, who has a flimsy life pool at the start, just a great grab to always get.
Yeah, I mean, this guy is so damn good. The only real issue for me is if you get behind as this support, it can be kind of rough. But you could say that for every support in the game, honestly. Hey, I mean, you talked about his move speed. It's fantastic. His burst potential is huge. You get another hero to combo up with in terms of a lockdown spell, and you get your Mystic Flare off, and all of a sudden you have an easy team fight victory potentially going your way. This guy is so damn good, and they're going to combine it up with the Ogre Magi. Union might play this in the core role, and then the immediate Abaddon pickup from Sneaky Nyx Assassins afterwards, which I really, really like up against the Ogre. I think that's a great pick in this scenario.
This draft is already getting pretty hot and heavy right now, and I'm like,
oh, yeah.
Ogre, you know, another hero who's quickly escalating up the Platinum charts as far as support, or even core. A lot of teams are really experimenting how they want to put him down in their own setup. But, I mean, what is there to say? I mean, the guy naked has 7 armor and 2.5 health regen. The stats are out of control. He's got glorious set of chesticles on him as well. They, you know, really should consider getting a bra, but the Fire Blast, heavy burst damage, you put that together now with Ancient Seal, things get ridiculous real quick. But overall, they're looking to use him as a, if they are going to go with the support, which most teams do now, is throwing him together in a tri-lane setup where he is going to be able to zone out an offlaner very, very easily. But that would be any other case. With a Terrorblade on the other side, more often than not, I would expect an aggressive tri-lane to come out, probably hand-in-hand with Skywrath Mage, plus this mystery 5th pick, and they're going to be able to really pressure this Terrorblade early on, which is what you need to do. They followed it up now with the Ember Spirit pick, and Sneaky Nyx Assassins, like you said, already got the Abaddon, which works very nicely to aid out Terrorblade in case he does get stun locked down or silenced up. He'll be right there with the shield, and then another shield wielder right there. It's going to be Mr. Dragon Knight for a little bit of extra pushing flavor. So pretty nice get up so far from both teams.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. You need this Abaddon pickup or somebody along those lines to help out the Terrorblade and make sure that he stays alive because he is paper thin when it comes to aggressive tri-lanes facing up against him. He'll die quickly. You could burst out the damage, but he's a glass cannon if I've ever seen one. So Sneaky Nix Assassins, they're going to keep him safe. Union Gaming, I expect him to run an aggro tri-lane, especially because this Nature's Prophet could theoretically be a 4-position Nature's Prophet. I don't expect to see that this game, but there's always that possibility.
Yep.
And Union Gaming do have the Ember Spirit. I really like Sneaky Nix Assassin's draft because they have a bit of everything. They have a bit of hard carry. They have a bit of team fight. They have a bit of pushing potential. Union Gaming have a lot of ganking potential and team fight as well, but I feel like unless Ember Spirit gets off to a good start, this could be kind of rough for them. However, Ember against the DK mid should be a pretty good matchup. So
yeah, and it's good because they also need a little bit of late game potential. So throwing the Ember in there is a very nice grab. But I agree. Normally, I'd expect a lot of early roam or early pressure, but I think we should definitely keep eyes on what I would imagine being the top lane. I imagine that's where Terrorblade's going to be residing with his support babysitter right there, the Abaddon, and also this 5th grab. And Union Gaming are probably going to be rolling with an aggressive tri-lane towards that type lane. Or at least I would strongly suggest it. If they don't go with the aggressive tri-lane, they risk having Terrorblade find that early farm. You know, he definitely won't be caught out by just a single offlaner, especially with an Abaddon being there. So he's going to be able to have a strong early game, which is something you do not want to have.
Yeah.
So more than likely, Union Gaming should roll with something aggressive and really try to take it home to Terrorblade. And, you know, we'll have to see where it goes because they also going to need a late game here, someone who can follow up. They might also consider someone who could dish out some reasonable magic damage just to kind of complement the Ancient Seal. But overall, someone who can wave clear and bring late game clearing. Now, wave clearing not going to be too much here with the Weaver grab, but elusive nonetheless, which you kind of need to be dashing in and out as far as you don't want to be focus fired from Terrorblade. He's a hard Sunder target, plus he has Lincoln Sphere normally in his quality build to get to work out. And Rubik is going to be the last support grab here on the side of Sneaky Nix Assassins. Now, I imagine they considered it even more so when they saw the Weaver because that's a quick and easy Sakuchi grab from him.
Yeah, Rubik is honestly, really, when Sneaky Nix Assassins had Whitebeard playing with them, they really didn't have that much room to work with because Whitebeard's pool is kind of limited. So Fluff is made to support in a lot of the positions maybe he didn't want to support in. And now with I'm a Sheep Sucks, they have a lot more to work with here. I think they have a lot more choices in terms of their hero pool, and I think Rubik is one of them, absolutely, because you don't see them playing that too often. This also gives the Fluff and Stuff the Abaddon pickup here, which is very nice to see as well. And it's going to be Brax playing the DK in the mid lane, so Brax going back to his roots in the mid lane here. He'll be going up against the Emperor Spirit. I like the Weaver choice because you can put a lot of aggression on the Terrorblade. Now, they don't have an Ancient Apparition, which is so good with that hero, but they have the next best thing, which is a lot of lockdown and plenty of right-click to go their way as well. So, again, you talked about an aggro trial, and I think that's going to happen.
Yeah, I certainly agree with that. Now, we are going to have an immediate pause. Union Gaming, of course, they're coming from south of the border, if you will, the Peruvian squad going toe-to-toe with the American group, Sneaky Nix Assassins. They are probably going to have a little bit of a ping problem here and there, just taking a little bit of extra time to make sure everyone is settled in. But just to kind of echo on what you're talking about with the support play on Nix, you know, I'm a Sheep who has been the support player all around the block, the Antidote block, you know, more recognizable, I'd say maybe an E-Hug, but he's been all along the other teams as well. The only weird synergy I see with them picking up someone like Ipa Sheep Sucks, even if it's just a stand-in for now, is him and Fluff. I almost feel like feel the exact same role. They're both pretty selfless with their play.
Yes,
and normally, you know, with other teams, they like to grab a support player who could be a little more selfish, who loves the farm up more heavy, and then a support who could be more selfless, get the wards, and you know, make it happen. So I'm curious to see if one of them is going to be a little more greedy with their support play, a little more aggressive, a little more spicy, or if we're going to see both of them do their typical kind of, you know, selfless style.
I think Fluff has the ability to play that selfish play style where you just, you know, sit in maybe the jungle for a bit, farm a lot, make sure you get some really core items here. I think at Abaddon, it's not the best hero to grab farm with, but he's certainly one that I think can transition into that role. Fluff all around is a great player, and I think Sheep Sucks is probably just a better player, especially on a Rubik. You're going to see Rubik 9 times out of 10 buying, you know, all the wards and stuff like that. Although it's really important for him to get an early Blink Dagger. So, you know, we actually could see either or pick up some extra farm here. What I do want to talk about is Nix Assassins are a team that is very, very... They're known for their quiet behavior almost. They don't have really many team leaders that speak up and talk about what needs to happen. I think that was the major problem, you know, back when Liquid kind of had Fluff and TC. But now with Brax and the squad they have, Brax is a vocal leader. He's a known leader, and I think this could work out really well for Nix Assassins. I think they have somebody now they can turn to in this stand-in to help them out and lead them, towards a victory here.
Yeah,
So
agree with
I'm
that.
excited.
Yeah, absolutely. And TC, who's also been a prominent core player all the way since the TI3 Liquid days when they were really stepping it up, and he'd been playing kind of the mid game, but also the carry. With Brax now on the team, he's also been a very prominent mid laner. We did see him last week in the American Division on the side of Gerg Squad / Ham Ham Clubhouse. He played a TA in the mid lane, and he did a fantastic job. He alone almost helped carry the game back, him and MSS on a Terrorblade as well, ironically enough. And ultimately they did fall short, but thanks to him and his big snowball plays, he almost got the team back into it. So now he's in the hands of SNA to work with right now. I'm not too sure if this is a permanent changeover or not. Like I said, there's a lot of finicky changes happening right now, but us as casters, we don't really have all the inside information. But with that said, we got the 3-2-1. Union Gaming are back. They've popped up to go, and we're underway. So let's lead things off here. This is game number 1 of our 5 best of ones today here in the Summit to America by G2A.com. I'll lead off your introductions. On the side of the Radiant, which is Union Gaming, the Peruvian boys, we got Ben Jazz, who's going to be playing your Weaver. He's heading up top lane right now with your, well, Ogre Magi, I'll say. I don't want to try to say Zitak or, whatever potential name that could be. Right behind, we got Jericho, who's playing your Skywrath Mage. And I believe this is Citadel, though it wasn't even confirmed last time we played, but, or last time they played, rather. But for now, I guess it's 11-080-209, going to be playing your Ember Spirit. And they're moving his 4 right here, and they're going to go immediately on Terrorblade. And he's one of the worst people you want to get on the back end of early gank. He's got such weak life pool, but look who's right there. It's Fluff. He pulls out a nice shield, will aid his Terrorblade friend, and they are able to get away. Finishing out the roundup of introductions on the bottom, it's going to be Angel in the solo safe lane Tidehunter. So, no surprises like we predicted in the draft. It's Union Gaming rolling with an aggressive tri-lane.
Yeah, this is smart, but you saw already the Aphotic Shield come into play and how good this can be in this game. What? Fluff might get caught out here potentially. Zitak running at him, just throwing some right clicks. There's the concussive shot. Here comes Sheep. He might be able to use some cliff here. And no, he's not going to go for the cliff instead. He just pushes him back up towards the river. Meanwhile, for Nyx Assassins, this is going to be your top lane. Fluff and stuff on your Abaddon. We'll move over. Sheep Sucks, or I'm a Sheep Sucks, will be playing your Rubik. Top lane TC on the Terrorblade. He's going for Metamorphosis first. Middle lane, it's going to be Brax playing your Dragon Knight. Misses his block a little bit, but not too bad. And down bottom, IX Mike 88 on your off lane Nature's Prophet. I'm very excited to see how Mike does here, especially a safe lane versus a, solo versus a solo in this situation. He's had some rough games recently, and I really think he could thrive in this lane. He should be okay here.
Now, Mike always gives me crap, so I always love to point out the small fact that most people recognize that, it's a prime target to usually get a hold of Mike early on. He seems to have a bit of a struggle in the early laning phase, and most teams like to capitalize on that. They'll take him down a few pegs, but got to give props to Mike. He's a very good about the comeback factor. He can definitely make the plays happen. He might struggle in the early game, let's say with like a Clockwork, but then he can pull out some big hook shots to really turn the tide in a lot of these fights. So yeah, like you said, he's going to go toe-to-toe one-on-one, so he should not have too much of a struggle in this early laning phase. Plus, he'll be able to pick up the teleportation, and if help is needed on this top lane, he should be able to globally make himself a presence and be there to aid. Now, it would risk leaving Tidehunter all by his lonesome and able to farm up a Blink Dagger that much quicker, but if it means protecting your precious Terrorblade, then well, so be it.
Yeah, I expect Mike to get involved pretty early on here, especially because there is this aggro tri-lane. I mean, this is the problem when you're Union Gaming. You cannot factor in when a Furion is going to TP in and just destroy your entire team. So Mike can have a very big impact on this game rather than just going to the jungle and farming for a bit. Already, though, Citadel or whoever 110 is in the mid lane is having a good time up against Brax. 10 last hits. Brax is getting denied a lot in terms of just getting CS. He's only got 4 right now, and this is a great start for an Ember Spirit. This is the problem, is that Ember has a really rough time in the early game, but later on, if he gets a good start, he'll be fantastic to work with. So,
yeah, and I'm not expecting really Brax to be able to come out with any top-notch kills unless it is the Ember Spirit who throws something away or an opportunity for him to really take on it. But Ember Spirit has the kill potential. If he gets a nice proc of the chains and follows it up with that guard, then man, oh man, he could do some serious damage. Even a Dragon Knight who has the extra bit of sustain with the Dragon's Blood, you can make him shake in his boots quite a bit. Now he's going to head towards the bottom after Ember goes towards the top and gets a hold of that rune. The bounty's going to be on the bottom there for Brax to quickly
top lane
take up. But yeah, top lane there looks like they're moving on in Fluff. At the back end of that one, it looks like he is going to go down. They catch a hold of the Abaddon and take him down, surprisingly enough. Now they turn their attention towards TC on the Terrorblade. They get us some right clicks right now, and they bring him down to near half-life. But unfortunately, it is going to be The Abaddon who falls. Union Gaming, props to them. They strike first, making it 1-0.
Yeah, that was just really weird. Fluff is just like, hey, I'm going to walk to the side ship, guys. Please don't kill me. And then they just ended up killing him, and they're like, well, I guess that's it, huh? So he just dies for nothing, essentially. TC has to pop Metamorphosis as well. So now they're in a really tight spot once this goes on cooldown. It's kind of sketchy here for Nyx Assassins.
That's the tricky thing, man. When you're going to pull out the Terrorblade as your first pick, you know, it's a great hero to have. I mean, he was nerfed just a hair in this recent 6.82C patch. His illusions were just taken down a notch, but you're pretty much putting your game plan out there right at the start of the draft. So you have to come to know that Union Gaming are going to look to fight back with their own counter, including this aggressive kind of a tri-lane. And as they pick their supports, you need to know what you're going to be going up against and be mentally and, well, you know, physically, as far as Dota goes, prepared for it. And hopefully they are. They put up quite a good defense here, grabbing a hold of the Abaddon, but they do lose the first blood, and that's very profitable for Union Gaming, who are also really nicely contesting this side 4 right now. So things are going pretty swimmingly for them. You know, they have the Ogre Magi, who's like the bouncer for their lane, who can really take a lot of punishment, but keep on sticking it in there and just clubbing it home.
Oh, Brax gets the kill mid lane. It looks like 1-1 dove a bit too far, and Brax just turns around and breathes fire on him and says, how are you? The tower kills him as well. So that's a big play. Also, bottom lane, Mike actually has phase boots as well, so look for him to start getting involved in some sort of engagements here in the near future.
Yeah, Nature's Prophet, one of many, many builds. As of recent, seeing a lot of the Null Talisman, Blade Mail kind of a builds if they're looking to get action-packed early with heavy right-click damage, or maybe your typical Orchid kind of a build, and Necro Book if you're going for heavy push. You know, the Bulldog standard of the Maelstrom into Mjolnir with the Blink Dagger if you're going more Rat style. Oh, here we go. Telekinesis top lane. They're going to get a throwback on Jericho, but they can't quite get too aggressive with it. No Metamorphosis available right now. And, you know, the main focus here for Sneaky Nyx Assassin's top lane is to babysit out. But meanwhile, mid lane, we're going to see also harassment here on Ember. He's trying to strike back after handing over that kill early on and just really taking it to this Dragon Knight.
You talk about babysitting in that top lane. That's really all they can do. Unless you get Reflection coming out for TC, which he's not going to pick up. He's going to chase down, actually. There is going to be the Fire Blast. Fluff should be okay. He's going to Photic himself. But there's no lockdown here for Nyx Assassin. So even if they want to right-click away with Metamorphosis, they really can't do that. I mean, they have no way to lock anybody down other than using that Telekinesis. So it's a problem.
Unless Mike gets involved globally, I'm not expecting this top lane to really find their own personal pickoffs. It's hard enough as it is to take down someone like Ogre, who already has a +2 set of armor with the stats, so he's at 8-9 armor right now, which is ridiculous. Skywrath Mage would be their best bet if they want to get a hold of someone. I miss another kill in the mid lane, but we might see a bit of a tiff here at the top. This is a warm-up game I'm going to call for myself. But Digital Telekinesis pulled down. Skywrath Mage, the one I talked about, very, very flimsy as it is. They are able to take him down just like that. But Ogre also very, very low. That Metamorphosis, man, the damage is ridiculous. They get a hold of the Ogre, but they also lose their Rubik. So make it a 3-for-2 across the map right now. A slight advantage for the Sneaky Nyx Assassins. And there is Mike getting involved to help out their team.
That Nature's Wrath just tore through them. Nyx Assassins, you talked about the Metamorphosis, plus that damage coming in from TC. They destroyed them. Yeah, they lost the Rubik at the top lane. It's unfortunate they lost Brax, but huge teleportation. That's exactly what we were talking about coming up from Mike and being involved early. And look at Benjas just taking this damage from TC and the Metamorphosis. Disgusting.
Yeah, you got to look at the damage sometimes on this Terrorblade, man. 101 +6, and he doesn't really have anything. I am liking that he's going for the early power treads. You know, some people still favor just if you have the opportunity to open up with early farm, grabbing something like a Radiance, but that could be pretty much a glass cannon, almost an all-in, and a bit of a hefty gamble. I think getting a hold of the early bit of levels, or in the early bit of regen and just life. I mean, even with the power treads, it's only 682. So flimsy. For a guy who looks so badass, man, this guy cannot really lift that well.
No, he certainly cannot. He only lifts about maybe the bar when he's bench pressing
I'd be
early
surprised
on.
if he can lift the bar.
Yeah, at that
he's like
point,
lifting
it's
floaties.
Like, you've got to get him stats, and that's what I think a lot of people realize, that this hero is a stat hero, but oh, look out.
Yeah, they're going on Fluff right now. Get Ancient Seal off. They're trying to burst him down before the silence is over, but he does manage to get the shield off, and now they're looking to return fire. It's Brax who rotates in. Wow, that Dragon Tail from across those trees, able to catch right there on your Weaver. Weaver ends up going down, and now they're going to look to go. IX Mike also rotated in, but so did Ember, so we're getting a bit of a rumble happening here at the top lane. They're looking to make a go on Fluff. They do manage to take him down, obviously not level 6 yet, no borrow time available. Ember Spirit might be in trouble as well now, and they get it done. It's a double kill for Brax. When it's all said and done, a 2-for-1 trade with Sneaky Nyx Assassins able to come out on top again.
Yeah, great fight, great engagement from Nyx. They get everyone involved, and it was just a rumble like you talked about in that top lane, and just a bit of overextension from Union Gaming. You talked about that Dragon Tail coming up from Brax. Huge play. He was about to get a Shikuchi off, and Benjaz would have lived had that been the case. But he comes through, gets his W button off, and all of a sudden they get a big kill. And TC stays alive through all of these engagements. He's 2-0-3 now. He's getting plenty of farm. The thing is also, Mike's getting a lot of farm by just being involved. He has 2 Rope of the Magi's. Looks like he will be going for an Orc and Malevolence, and he's got a TP on mid right now as he's looking for Z-Talk.
Right from behind. He sprouts on both of them. It's going to be hard to hold down Ember, but they do finish off the Ogre very nicely. Now Ember jumps on forward. That might be a bit of a misplay. He goes right into a Dragon Tail, and they're going to try to right-click him down, but double rotation's also coming out from Union Gaming, and they'll look to fire on back that Flame Guard, holding in a bit of damage. Oh no, Mike gets himself caught in a fiery death pit right there with that Sprout, but they still want redemption. They're pressing on forward, but there's your first Ravage of the game coming out from Union Gaming. They take down Fluff. He gets stuffed, and now Brax is under pressure, and he does get blown up from the additional nuke power coming out from Jericho on that Skywrath Mage. So able to fire back right now with a rotation in the first time from your Tidehunter. Union Gaming score a nice 2-for-1 special. Actually make it 3-for-1 all day.
That's just a huge play coming out from Union Gaming. They're starting to move together, and this is how they have to play, especially when Ravage is up. Use your abilities. Now they're jumping up Fluff.
Fluff
There's
comes
the
back.
rain. He's dead.
No.
Oh my god.
That's unfortunate. Fluff comes right back into death once again. And Union Gaming with the right call right there. They don't even deter for one moment. They just see the opportunity to open up, that it's going to be their support, Abaddon, and before he's even level 6, they want to try to take him down a peg again, and they do get it. Nice grab from them, bottom lane. Mike runs into the open arms of Angel right there, but they don't have the stun, and he is able to get away.
Mike, he actually just TP'd down there as well. Very close to death. He's thanking his lucky stars. Benjaz is getting some room to farm now. In terms of net worth, he's not too far behind. Everyone's actually rather close in this game. I'd say this game could go either way at this point. Both teams are having a good start. Now Ravage is down. What can Nyx Assassins do with it? They have Elder Dragon Form if they want to use it. Are they going to make something happen is the real question, and we'll see.
TC also pops his Metamorphosis just now in the top lane. You got to make sure you keep using this ability. It's pretty much his premier ultimate of all his abilities. It's such a high cooldown, over 2 minutes before he can use it again, but the damage, 139 plus 9 right now as it begins to unload on this tower. They immediately pop the glyph to nerf as much of that damage as possible, but he's going to continue to spout out those illusions and really make a go at this tower as quick as possible. But you know, even with the addition of a Sheep being right here, he's got to be cautious. Telekinesis is going to throw Ogre up before he can get that stun off, and oh, they get it. They cannot get the deny, unfortunately, on the side of Union Gaming. So with the advantage of that Metamorphosis, the sneaky Nyx Assassins strike first as far as towers go and pick up that one.
And honestly, I feel like Union Gaming haven't done enough to shut down this Terrorblade. They wanted to get a lot more kills on this hero, and they are just letting him farm and get towers down. And this is a real problem. Down bottom, they're taking the tower. It is important to note that Arcanes are done for Angel. We'll see what he goes for next. And they were looking for level 6 on the supports of Union, and I don't know if they have them yet. Not quite. Very close for Ogre, and as well as Scarif. So they'll hit their level 6 soon. And once you get level 6 on your supports, maybe that's when you make a fight happen, especially with Ravage coming off cooldown now.
Oh, here we go. They're making it go mid lane, though, on Ember. Telekinesis throws him up, and they just burst him down like he's nothing. The flimsy Ember gets immediately taken apart in this mid lane, and you're going to see your first steal. It's a concussive shot right there from Sheep, who's able to benefit from his level 6 after that pickoff right now. So you're seeing the supports, like you said, start coming into the level 6, and this is where things change. Even the side of Union Gaming, your Skywrath Mage has his Mystic Flare now. Might put to use right here, and there we go. They open it up on Brax. Picks him down to about a quarter life, but they heal right there from Abaddon. But the turn in Ravage catches the 3. They take down 2. Brax is really low. He can't make it out 4 all day. The buyback from Ember, well worth it to get him right back in there, and he grabs a double kill on the back of that return. And man, fantastic turnaround right there for Union Gaming.
This is the threat when you have a Tidehunter on the other team. Nyx Assassins do not back away when they realize Tide's coming in with that Ravage. He pops the R button. Benjaz comes through with a huge Akuchi, and they come back with the Ember Spirit like you talked about. They get a fight. They get a tower as well. Back and forth we go, my friend. This game's all over the damn map, and at this point, who knows who's leading? There is a 500 gold lead, net worth lead for Union, but that is nothing at this point. And this is kind of tough, but Mike TP's in. Who's he looking for? The courier? What? He's going to get it.
Whoa, Mike. Can they stop him? They can't. Wow. Gets out by the skin of his Nature's Prophet teeth right there. Makes it right back to base. That was a very, very hot and heavy play right there. As did he end up getting the courier?
He did. He got it.
Well, I guess it pays off for him. A very, very scary mission accomplished right there for Mike as he grabs a hold of it. I didn't even see the message pop up, but he gets it done. Nice job on him. I was expecting Union Gaming to make quite the big return once this Ravage was going to come online, and you know, back-to-back big fights for them, and he's that much closer to getting his Blink Dagger, so things are going to continue to get a lot better for Union Gaming in this mid-game, and that becomes quite troublesome for Nyx. I mean, they already are putting a lot of eggs in their Terrorblade basket, but hopefully it's not their only big plan B that they can try to pull out here. I mean, TC is still finding a lot of farm on the top lane and working in the jungle right now. He just made a pretty big purchase, and it's going to be that reliable Yasha. And it may just seem like a Yasha, but in the hands of a Terrorblade, man, it adds a whole lot. That damage that was already so impressive in Metamorphosis is going to get that much better, but he might run into trouble right now. He sees Ogre. Ogre's going to catch him, and there's a multi, and that's all it takes. Just such a weak kind of a hero that even these two supports can get the job done. I mean, a Mystic Flare on top maybe wasn't even necessary, but they secure the prize pickoff right there in TC's Terrorblade.
That's huge, but at the same time, TC did buy the Yash like you talked about. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Angel getting caught out. They're going to pop the Elder Dragon form. They want to take this tower. Rotation's coming through. Here we do see the Ember Spirit coming in. Seared Chains. Brax getting caught out now. Another TP, another multi-catch. Brax, look out, buddy. There's the Dragon Tail. Blows up that Tide Hunter, though. Telekinesis coming in. They will steal Bloodlust. Nice spell to steal. They're going to pop it on Brax. They're going to back away.
They run. They had dropped the sentry on the way out, but they're not going to get too far here. They get a nice chain set. They rip apart the one support. They put their attention on Brax. They should be able to take him down, but he takes a support with him before he goes. But it ends up being a double kill for Benjaz right there at the end of that one. So still, it's Union Gaming to come out on top right there. And for Nyx Assassins, they do what they can before they go, taking down a couple. But still, it's Weaver who profits the most from that one. And Union Gaming push ahead 15-11.
But the problem here is, and Mike is making a pretty cheeky play, he'll get these with his trance, it looks like, and he TP's out. Again, the problem is, though, Nyx Assassins are taking these fights 4v5, and the fact that they're even close in a lot of these is really important. You look at TC, what's he doing? He's just farming the jungle, and that's all he's going to be doing until he gets a couple more items, because he can't really fight yet. I mean, we talk about how squishy he is. Just get him farm, and then all of a sudden he's going to come out of the jungle, and he's going to be wrecking fates. So Union Gaming get the one pick off coming through the Skywrath and the Ogre top. But can they make more happen up against TC is the real question.
And a good way to kind of create extra space for their Terrorblade and can kind of turn things around is Mike getting a hold of that Orchid. That would definitely help out significantly. They'll be able to make a bigger presence and they can get some additional pickoffs. Or you can also fall back on the Nature's Prophet split push, put that together with Terrorblade's own split push power, and things can get a bit hectic for Union Gaming as they could try to spread that team thin as far as being across the whole map and trying to dish out as big of a defense as possible, which you're going to need a whole team defense if you're even going to go against the Terrorblade's kind of early aggression towards your objective towers. So here we go. Mid lane is going to be denied right there from Angel. Brax is not going to be able to get there in time to secure that one. So another tier 1 falls. That's all 3 tier 1s taken down on the side of Union Gaming, while for Union Gaming, they are looking to bounce back as well. You see your Ember Spirit, he's got one more component till getting a hold of that precious Battle Fury, adding that extra bit of farm acceleration. And another hero who has a very high ceiling as far as late game, but he might be in trouble right here. You have a lot of sneaky Nyx Assassins lingering nearby as he rotates to the side camp right now. He's waiting in the woods nearby, maybe for an opportunity to open up. But we also might see action here on the top lane as Sheep rotates in. They see that they're going for the tier 1, but in the jungle, that's where they catch TC again, and he eats the big wrath of those 2 heavy burst supports, and he goes down again. Unfortunate right now for your Terrorblade, but big props to Union Gaming, constantly rotating and hunting down that Terrorblade and taking him again and again.
Yeah, this is huge. The more they can shut him down, obviously, the less farm he's going to get, and making sure you choke off his jungle is very important for any real hard farming hero. And they're going to take the tier 1 tower, a victory lap on the back end of this as well. Angel has Ravage. I don't think there's any way Nyx Assassins try to TP and defend this. So, and Benjaz is now the leader in terms of net worth. His Lincoln Sphere is very close. He only needs a couple more 100 gold, and he's going to have it. Also, the Ember Spirit has his Battle Fury done. There's the Blink Dagger. Union Gaming, they're starting to come online.
Yeah, their itemization is coming together very, very nicely for them, whereas the Nyx Assassins, and especially someone like TC, he might need to consider getting a hold of a BKB on this Terrorblade. It's just very apparent that the magic burst is just very, very strong. He's still only sporting 910 life, so heaven forbid once this Ogre gets 11, that 3 times multi is going to be more than enough to take him all the way down a peg. But meanwhile, mid lane, you see that there's going to be potential aggression here. Ember is moving forward with that haste, trying to get a hold of Sheep, but Sheep did steal that Sakuchi, puts it right to use, and is able to walk away.
They get the courier. I don't know how Nyx killed the courier. I don't think Mike was close at all. So I'm not sure how it died again, but it did. Meanwhile, Brax gets a Photic shielded, and they're looking, Ember does TP out to the tier 1 tower down, or tier 2 rather, down bottom. And Brax does have his BKB. I mean, this is huge. This is a huge item up against all of the magic damage and burst coming up from Union, and Brax will be able to do some work here, assuming they can kill both Ember and the Weaver quick enough for them to stop doing their right click.
Yeah, there's never denying the push potential that's going to be there for sneaky Nyx Assassins. They're not one to go off on a pick off Hitman squad. Their supports are playing more defensive, more babysitting for the primary cores. Obviously, Nature's Prophet has his own pushing prowess, doing split on the side. Mike is doing cheeky plays all over the place right now, getting a hold of back ends of towers, even a courier a time or two. And obviously with Dragon Knight as well, with that Dragon form, big siege pressure right there. And on top of that, the Terrorblade. So the objective gaming is more strong in the Sneaky Nyx Assassins, but if they can't even get to that pinnacle point because Union Gaming keep getting a hold of them and taking them down, it's going to be a long road for them. But Union Gaming are profiting from this. All these pickoffs and even the occasional tower takedown. Their Weaver's able to get more and more. He's got his Lincolns now complete. Now he can look to build into damage. Ember Spirit also is building in some big damage. That cleave is going to help so much against the Terrorblade and those pesky illusions that I don't really know. I mean, I would feel like Union Gaming are slightly getting on top of this one, but the Nyx Assassins always can have a plan B or C to really take down those towers.
No, this is probably one of the closest games we'll see, I think, because of just the cores that both teams have and the team fight potential both teams have. At this point, I think Union have a really good lead. They have a gem coming out as well, so they want to choke off and give no vision away to Nyx Assassins. And they're like, hey, listen, man, you guys are just going to be blind, so it's going to be huge.
They're trying to bait out the Weaver. They have the Blink and Ravage ready to go in this top lane. That's a level 2 Ravage as well. Pretty scary. That's big damage, especially on even the Terrorblade. And even supports are not even going to hold a candle to what's going to be coming their way. So very cautious play coming out from them. You see Brax and Fluff lingering behind the tower. They see the Weaver, but they're not looking to pull the trigger on anything. They're just going to kind of wait it out and see what ends up developing. And bottom lane, Ember still holding strong right there. That's where TC's been residing. You know, he was top lane pretty much for the majority of the time, and now he's got his illusions looking to siege on forward and do some additional damage towards that tier 2. It's taking it down just little by little, but the big damage is not there quite yet for this Terrorblade to really be able to use those illusions quite as effectively as you'd like. So he's going to look to build up more stats. I'm banking that maybe a BKB might be necessary this one, but here we go. You see I'm a Sheep. He takes all the concussive shot, telekinesis, but he might be in trouble. That Mystic Flare could come down after he gets silenced up, though. They turn it back, and Jericho goes down. Nice grab right there. Fluff leads the way, and, well, they end up taking down that Skywrath support, who's another flimsy hero, and looking to press on in is Angel. Still has that Ravage ready to go, but doesn't want to use it on the one solo Sheep here. Sheep is trying to wait for maybe a Blink Dagger to be available. He grabs a hold, but oh, he throws him right to the high ground, however, but the Blink Dagger course on there on Angel is going to be able to get him right back down.
They're trying to fight, though. Brax is going to go up to the high ground. Over Dragon Tail. Ravage comes in. Mike gets caught out on the back end of that. Brax going in onto Ember Spirit. He's trying to get this kill. There's the Breathe Fire. They silence him up. Can they get this kill? I think the Soulburn will pop him. TC walks in and grabs the right click. Meanwhile, Z-Talk here on the high ground. Ember Spirit buys back. Remnant's in. Vengeance is going to work on Brax as well as Angel's doing some work there. TC getting Fire Blast set up. He pops the Manta. Brax is still alive somehow. Breathe Fire again. Angel getting low. There's going to be the usage of the ultimate from Fluff and stuff. He's getting caught out. He might fall. Ancient Seal. Fluff, run out of there. Get out of there, buddy. He's going to go down. The double kill comes in. Great buyback from the Ember Spirit.
2 times this game, man. He's been taken down with the buyback. He benefits a lot from it. Gets another double kill. Almost a bit of deja vu right there. If you're counting the buyback, ends up being what looks like a 3 for 3, but still with that Precious Core Ember picking up a lot of those kills, I have to say it does benefit Union Gaming just a little bit more. Now TC did also grab himself a kill. He's currently sporting the 3-2-3 kind of a record, and it looks like he will head right back towards the bottom. And he finished out his Manta, so that the benefit from that Ultimate Orb does give him a little bit of extra life, near 1,200, but still very susceptible to getting caught out from the heavy burst of the Fire Blast from the Skywrath Mage. Hell, at this point, even a big damaging Sleight of Fist could do some pretty big damage towards him.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think you talked about BKB for Terrorblade, and he needs something to keep himself tanky, and it could be that BKB. He could go for a Scotty as well at some point. But he just needs some more survivability. Even Brax with the BKB died there. However, he did do a lot of work in that fight. And that fight could have gone really poorly for Union had they not bought back. God, on the Ember Spirit. I don't know what I'm having issues, man.
Unique New York. New York is
That's
unique.
right.
I don't think we got as good of a warm-up in today. I needed one as well, apparently, so it's all good. It's all good. It is surprising to usually when teams like to run this, like all-in kind of a Terrorblade stack, that, you know, their mid laner will be someone who could snowball a little bit better. You know, someone like if they wanted to even grab Brax, that TA again, you know, could draw a lot of attention towards himself in the mid game. Or even the off laner would be someone like a Timbersaw who could look to snowball out of control. But they didn't go for either. They just were like, we're going full push this game, baby. We got the Dragon Knight ready and available and Nature's Prophet. That is push on push gaming right here, but they have yet to take a tier 2 tower, it looks like, so they definitely have a lot of objectives rather ahead of them. Bottom lane, they're going to see Ember here. This might be their time to strike, as it doesn't appear he has a lot of vision to work with. Fluff is going to sneak in from behind and provide that extra bit of vision, but with a cautious TP and Rem, they are right next to each other. They don't even know, hey, how's it going right there? And finally, they do see the Ember nearby. Sheep's looking to move on in, and nope, he quickly tries to TP too early, and Remnant's off to the right-hand corner. Now he's put himself literally in a corner, as they don't scout him out yet. Now they see him. Hey, how's it going right there? Get a hold of him, telekinesis, they throw him up and down with the benefit of that Orchid Silence. They lock him in his place and take him down. Bit of a misplay right there from your Ember Spirit, but I guess space created as their Weaver continues to dish out a little bit of push here on the top lane and farm up.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to split push here with the Weaver, but all the meanwhile, I mean, you haven't, that's a Metamorphosis up Terrorblade walking towards your bottom tier 2 tower, and this might fall. There is no buyback, obviously. Ember down for 55 seconds.
Oh man, look at them. Look at the damage.
It's an army.
Army.
They're going in.
This is like Diablo right now. Look at him go. Bam, tower is done. Like nothing. But meanwhile, you're going to see on the other side of things, on the other side of the map, there's an engagement happening. Fluff is able to soak up that damage preciously and use that as a heal to his benefit, you know, with that borrowed time, and that Mystic Flare is not going to be able to get the job done. Now Benja's on the run. Brax gets silenced up, turns his attention towards where Ogre had retreated out, but Ogre is going to be able to waddle himself away, who, mind you, has picked up a gem. So Union Gaming trying to control most of the map and take away those wards. Still a nearby desperate Skywrath Mage trying to fly back home, as it looks like he will be able to potentially get away here. They're not going to look to pursue him, and he does TP on out.
I'm surprised Nyx Assassins didn't take Roshan off the back end of that Ember Spirit death, but at the same time, I guess there is... actually, there wasn't Ravage available. It's down now. They could have definitely taken that. I'm surprised. But at the same time, TC was bottom. He put some chip damage onto the tier 3 tower. Just a little bit. Nothing too crazy. I mean, just a little thing to get them started here. But now Nyx Assassins are feeling confident. They're moving past the river. They're getting kickoffs. And not only that, but they're getting plenty of farm and towers for TC, as he has 2.7k gold in the bank. Looking at the other items in this game, Benja should be near to, let's see, he's going for a Desolator, it looks like. Ember Spirit's going for a BKB. Mech's almost there for Z-Talk, so he's had a bit of a rough time. On the other side of things, all the items we've already seen. There is an Ultimate Orb. Meanwhile, top lane, they're jumping on Brax.
Jump forward, gets the gush off, but Brax is going to TP out. Got no Ravage to try to stop him down, but Ember quickly shows up. Not going to get there in time to stop him from his TP. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Benjaz on the hunt here, trying to get a hold of TC. TC's very low, tries to turn back, but does get the Sunder off right there.
That was really weird.
Yeah, that was a funky Sunder, as he does do the time-lapse at the same exact time. But regardless, TC gets a second life, and now we'll continue to linger in the area. Maybe they go for a counter initiation. They're creeping here on the side. They ping out the Ogre. TC's looking to press on 4. He has Metamorphosis ready to go if he wants. But now with no Sunder and, you know, not going to be able to interrupt the TP regardless, he just gets himself out of there.
Yeah, that's just a smart play from the Ogre to get out. But they were looking to fight. They actually... I'm surprised TC got the early point in Reflection. I usually see stats on this hero after you get your max Conjurer, Mage, and Metamorphosis, but at the same time, I'm sure it's fine. He has the Ultimate Orb, but I think this is a Scotty coming up from TC. It makes the most sense here. It keeps him alive and tanky, and he'll be able to destroy people with that Scotty as well when he has his Metamorphosis up, so...
I guess the nice thing, and what might not be necessary getting of a BKB, is once you build up a lot of levels and you have a Manta, you know, got so many illusions out there that you kind of need a second guess on the side of Union Gaming who even is the right target to kind of go on. So he can just easily soak in a bit of the early burst damage and be able to live on and take advantage of maybe lower bit of life and use that Sunder. So TC's feeling BKB, not going to be necessary. He instead's going to continue to press on forward with this farm. If he does get a hold of this Scotty, things do get a bit scary. Interesting to note also, neither team taking advantage of Roche just yet. A little too cautious to play right now, especially Union Gaming, who have the blinking Ravage available. You know, if sneaky Nyx Assassins get careless going for something like the Aegis, they could end up on the backside of this game real quick.
Yeah, the thing is, sneaky Nyx Assassins have a huge lead in terms of net worth, at least for their big 3 cores. Obviously, Benjaz is still up in front with the Desolator, which is huge, but they have some right click. The only real reason why I don't think either team is taking it, sneaky Nyx Assassins can't because there's wards all over the place. They don't have vision because of said gem. And this gives a lot of room for Union Gaming and allows them to pressure different areas of the map. But because of this, they leave bottom lane open, they're leaving top lane open currently, so they're trying to force down a tier 2 tower mid lane, but they might end up losing towers because of it.
Yeah,
So
they're going to have to make sure they
Dire's
always have
middle
those
tower
TPs
is
available
under
and make the
attack.
right call as far as when to double back and make a big defensive play or when to continue pressing on 4 because, I mean, they could benefit from grabbing a tier 2, maybe and start taking high ground, but they could be losing 2 sets of high ground at the same time.
Radiant's
As
top
you see,
tower is
rotations
under
coming in,
attack.
they're going to go for the top lane here. This tier 2 eating a lot of siege damage right now from those illusions. Now Angel jumps in, gets stunned immediately, so he can't get his Ravage quite off in time. And there it is. He does get it off right now. It takes down the Terrorblade illusions, but Brax is just going to promptly TP out after both stuns have already been expended, and TC and Mike have already retreated on out. So there's a defensive callback coming up from Union Gaming, but they're not going to be able to get anything from it.
yeah, I mean, they did use the Ravage for a BKB charge, so I mean, kind of even that's on cooldown for another 60 seconds. But at the same time, they don't take the tower. But now, Fluff picks up the gem, and this is what they were waiting for. They're going to counterward Roshan. In fact, they're just going to head in straight to Rosh because they know there's no Ravage. They have Metamorphosis
and no
still up for
TPs.
TC. Yeah, they're ready to go, man. This is going to be an Aegis for either of these heroes, and I think it's probably going to go for... They could give it to Brax, TC, or IX Blake, and I think any of those choices is fine. It looks like it will be TC. He drops his Glowing Blade to the ground.
Great call coming out here from Sneaky Nix Assassins. Well aware that the full Union Gaming squad were going to invest all or most of their TPs into going for that defense in the top lane. That leaves them with nothing to try to quickly get to the Roshan pit. Now they're on the retreat out. It is TC who does have a hold of that Aegis. Angel's kind of dancing with him, but they know that he does not have that Ravage available. Lincoln's is going to be popped right there from Sheep, but now the two supports pull back. Angel moving on in, gets a gush on Mike. Mike being in a bit of trouble right now. Desperation TP is not going to do anything for you, Mike, as he gets taken down. Benjaz with that heavy right click with the benefit of that Desolator, plus Bloodlust that keeps coming out on him, is able to help him take down that Furion quite easily.
You talk about Bloodlust, that's actually just huge on this hero. To be able to get his Desolator strikes off so quickly, he tears through heroes like Ike's Mike. And this is a problem. They've got to find a way to deal with him, but with the Lincoln Sphere, it's kind of difficult. They would like to Dragon Tail him, but they've got to break the Lincoln Sphere first. And they do have the Aegis now, though, so I imagine they're not going to fight until they're comfortable. And with the Blink Dagger as well, this now makes it easier to get in and use that Dragon Tail, even without your usage of the Elder Dragon form. So look for Telekinesis followed by a Dragon Tail to lock down that hero and see if they can burst it down quickly enough.
Yeah, they're putting Brax in the kind of position where he's going to be wanting to initiate on them there and get things set up because, honestly, they lacked a lot of initiation on their team to begin with. So having someone like Dragon Knight with that Blink Dagger can allow him to really jump into the fray, open up with a nice stun, and he already has a fair amount of life on his side to be able to soak in the early damage and allow someone like TC from the back line to really unload with his Terrorblade, or at least add pressure elsewhere. Mike's coming in from behind right now. They kind of briefly see him. He blinks right over the trees and quickly TPs out. Man, the cheeky splay don't stop right now for Mike.
Yeah, Mike is, I mean, he's doing what he needs to do. He's being a rat. He's kind of just all over the place. He needs to find ways to push out and make this game a bit even. And Nyx Assassins are just going to continue to farm. Once Terrorblade gets to Scotty, I think that's what they're waiting for the Aegis, and they have it now. So at this point, again, the problem is I'm surprised Ember Spirit doesn't have that much farm. Again, he has a BKB and a Battle Fury, but I feel like if he had like a Daedalus here, they'd be in a lot of a better position. So
definitely needs to start bringing in some additional farm for himself, but they're spreading that farm between himself and the Weaver on their team, and that leaves also the supports with not much to work with right now. They're currently doing a D-Ward process. Ogre's the one still holding that gem. Probably one of the best supports you can ask for in the game to kind of be a gem holder. If the support has to hold a gem because he's just
very tanky.
He's so fat. He's got the mask cosmetic too. I'm just pretty jealous of that right there, as he will be able to do the D-Ward process. He's also the mech holder he's not going to be able to get a hold of the Agnum Scepter unless it's a supreme luxury item and they get maybe a few more towers, but that's additional burst that would be nice to have, and lockdown, but they're not going to be able to benefit from that one. And bottom lane is where we see the sneaky Nyx Assassins adding their own bit of pressure right now. Mike is going with that hold-on kind of get up right now. He's got the Blink Dagger already acquired. Maelstrom near the Hyperstone right now if he wants to continue pushing on forward with the Mjolnir grab. So it's really hard to say. As far as net worth goes, it is Nyx Assassin's favor, but not by a whole lot. Only about 15k, or 1500 gold rather, so nothing too significant from either side, but I think the Nyx Assassins do have the benefit from their just heavy siege prowess. But if they make a bad decision call, they get caught out in a fight very poorly, it allows Union Gaming to really be able to open up. And right now we see Weaver opening up on this top tier 2 tower. It's very, very close. We might see a trade of a deny right here. Gets rid of the Lincolns and will not be able to get the deny. He takes a Sakuchi after taking it down with the Fade Bolt. The Lincolns, that is, and Benjaz is able to still grab the tower.
Yeah, that's just... we talk a lot about split push potential from Nyx Assassins, but whenever you have a Weaver, it's always there on your squad because he could just, especially with the Desolator, he not only chips the tower down so quickly, but he could just get out in any way possible, plus Bloodlust, which we already talked about. So, I mean, the cores, the objectives right now, they're going for both squads. In fact, in terms of objectives, Union Gaming's ahead by 1 tower. So
how do you
we'll
put
see
a
how it
Weaver
goes.
though against the Terrorblade, who now has Scotty?
I mean, it's kind of rough later on in the game, but at the same time, that's why they have the Ember Spirit to sleight of fist down the illusions. So that's what they're looking for. They need more. They need more damage on the Ember though. That's the real thing. They just need more damage on him.
Their lone defense as far as these illusions go. Weaver's more a single target. It's going to take a little bit extra muscle to take him down. You see Ogre expending a lot of stuns already just on the illusion. That allows them to open up, and well, just like that, Brax is the one to pick off the sweet kill. And before he goes, a little Fire Blast grab right there for Sheep, but. Now they can just conveniently segue down this mid lane. You got Dragon Form and Metamorphosis already popped right now. This tier 2 is going to crumble really quickly right now, and they might even consider pushing on forward even further into the high ground.
Yeah, there is Ravage. I don't know if they want to push into that, but at this point, Glyph has been used. TC still has Metamorphosis. They have Aegis. I think it looks like Nyx Assassins are going to try to at least put some chip damage on his tower and see what they can do.
Tidehunter backs up into a position where maybe he could jump in with a Ravage, but there's so many illusions on the field. They need to clear them down so we can see what the right target is. Now, they silence out the correct one, but Abaddon's quickly there to kind of remove that with the shield. So, I mean, even just with that nice light siege, the tier 3 is almost dead.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they needed to do. I mean, you just sit back, put some chip damage in the tower, and don't give away too much. They'll back away now, they'll continue to farm, and they'll probably wait for another Aegis because TC's just expended, so... Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what they have to do. Great play coming out from Nyx Assassins, and now Union Gaming are like, well, if that happens again, we probably not only lose a tier 3, but maybe a set of racks altogether, so.
Man, oh man, so it's going to be on them, but bottom lane to make the jump in. Blink Dragontail going to work. Ember in big trouble right now. They time out very nicely with the telekinesis to follow at the end of the duration of that stun, and he has nowhere to go. Can't even get off that BKB, and he quickly goes down.
Yeah, that's huge. Really great play. They didn't stack the stuns. They made sure all of them were just one by one. And like you talked about, couldn't get his remnant off. And he has no buyback either, so he's down for 50 seconds. For Nyx Assassins, they'll probably put some more pressure on the towers. But, oh, there it comes. It's going to be a 33-minute refresh orb coming out from Angel. So, they really... This is going to be a problem for everyone that, with the exception of Brax, who he's the lone BKB carrier currently on the side of Nyx Assassins.
We don't have a statsman available, but I would imagine more often than not that teams, when their Tidehunter does get a hold of the refresher, more often than not they do win. Though this is one of the situations where I'm still not convinced that Union Gaming quite have enough to pull back, though that does certainly help. That takes down Nyx Assassins a lot, and even if they BKB, they're not going to be able to withstand both of them as long as they're timed out properly and he doesn't just kind of blow his load immediately into two of them into BKBs, but that's a big thing to have, quite the game changer for them. As we saw him game change it out early on once he did get his first Ravage off, he's looking to do it again here in the later game.
This is really going to be down to positioning. Can Mike get in? Can he stay out of the Ravage? Can he get his Orchid off on some prime targets like said Tidehunter? How is the fight going to be going by the time they do get those double Ravages off? Again, it all comes down to positioning now, and I think with an Aegis, they can afford to kind of just step towards the high ground and maybe even force that Ravage out, at least the first one, as long as they do have said Aegis, but that's not going to be up for another couple of minutes anyways. And Union Gaming are just pushed back into their base. The only person that can go outside of the base safely currently is Benjaz. As you saw, down bottom, Emperor Spirit was at his tier 2 tower where it used to stand, and he just died, so... They're a bit afraid now, but they are going to start putting pressure. They have the Smoke of Deceit. Let's see if they can find out TC, who is here in the mid lane. It's going to be tough.
Just some illusions, unfortunately, so they will reveal their dust in the mid lane just to them. Benj has a lot of gold. Near 4K, right? Let me click on him. Yeah, 3.8K,
yes.
Man. He is investing a lot of this. I'm curious where he takes it from here. If he goes right for something like an MKB. It's not like the evasion is much available here on the side of Sneaky Nyx Assassins, but the extra bit of heavy burst and damage would certainly help. He's already got all of his defense he could ask for. He's got a BKB, which is still all shiny and new, with a full 10 seconds to work with, and of course that Lincoln Sphere.
Radiant's top tower is under
it's really hard
attack.
for him to try to get a hold of anyone to focus down, because Weaver being crippled by just that single target ability and how elusive Sneaky Nyx Assassins have been. It's been a bit frustrating, I'd imagine, here for Benjaz.
Yeah, I mean, this is just... Yeah, he wants to pump out the damage, man. He wants to go to work. And he's trying his damnedest here, but... I mean, he's focused on split pushing now. That's really his job at this point. He's just pushing out the waves and making sure that if they can find a kill, they'll try to secure it with his right click. But, I mean, Nyx Assassins are playing the good old, rat split push style of Dota. And,
it looks like he might need to consider that MKB. Maybe that's why he's nursing the gold for now to see, because we see that TC is... Well, he's got the Talisman already available and a quarterstaff, so he's going to need to be able to burst through that evasion.
It's going to be really difficult. Yeah, and that's exactly why he needs the MKB. But even with the MKB, there's still a good chance that he could get blown up and won't be able to do all of the damage to TC. TC has Sunder. He'll probably have an Aegis. He's certainly going to have a lot of health with 2.2 already in the bank with the Scotty. So, I mean, they're good to go in terms of TC. It just comes down to can they play this correctly, I feel like. And also, yeah, that's the other problem is can they bring down the Ember Spirit before he just destroys your entire Illusion army? So those are the two things, really.
I mean, the wave clearing, yeah, is respectable there on Ember Spirit's side, and they have the Ignite that can definitely help out quite a bit. And now they're smoking up. They're looking to get a hold of someone. They're going to see the Terrorblade Illusion run up to the north, but they're not going to be deterred with that. They're pressing on in. They know it's about to be Roche time. Roche is actually up, but Sheep, might be in the bad side of things here. The smoke's going to be popped, and Union Gaming scout out, and they're going to see no one in the pit, and they're like, hey, we'll kind of go for it on our own right. But there's the pings. It is Nyx Assassins who know this is happening, but they'd have to make a play happen real quick because Benjaz is dishing out huge right-click damage with the benefit of that Desolator and that new Demon Edge. Now MKB pickup. Man, oh man, this rope is going to fall quickly. I don't think they're going to make it in time. Oh man, Sheep's right there on the outside. It does get taken down, and it is quickly picked up right there from the Weaver. So Nyx are not going to contest this because, they're already investing a lot on the split push. Mike's up in the top lane. They were lingering near the pit, but now they pull back.
That's a huge Aegis. I mean, that Aegis actually just prolongs the game for a couple more minutes. Nyx Assassins, if they had that, they'd probably push into the base, and I imagine they get at least, a couple of buildings going their way. Now that Union Gaming have it, Benjaz and the rest of the squad, they're going to be playing more aggressively. Jericho picks up an Atos. Angel has the Refresh Robe like we already talked about. Ember Spirit now is going to have his Daedalus very soon. And all of a sudden, they're looking good. They want to start taking fights. We've seen them smoke up a lot of the times recently, and we'll see if they can find anything on the back end of a push or a Smoke of Deceit for them to get a kill. Also, Benjaz has the MKB, so boom, they're good to go.
Yeah, before that smoke had bursted out and Union Gaming made that great play to grab a hold of the Aegis, I was going to mention that, the wave clearing being very nice for Union Gaming as it is, but also on the side of Nyx Assassins, man. You already got Mjolnir complete here on Brax, and Mike has his Maelstrom. Decide not to push forward into that, instead grab the Sheep Stick. Huge grab for him right there. Finding a way to break through, though, the Lincolns already and the BKB of Weaver is going to be a different story, being as elusive already as it is. Meanwhile, top lane, fluffing stuff, man. Grabbing that intel in the woods there nearby. We'll decide to TP on out. But, Nyx Assassin's proven to be quite sneaky. It is true to their name. Union Gaming haven't found an opportunity. I mean, when's the last time we saw a big team fight where the Ravage was able to really open up? He gotten hold of this Refresher, but has yet to put it to use.
It's been like 15 minutes, man. This is becoming a real Resident Sleeper game, but Nyx Assassins, I mean...
It's tactical, man. This is chess right now. We're not watching dodgeball at this game. This is chess. They're making a move by move for the right time to make it happen, but in these kind of games, things can get hot and heavy real quick.
Yeah, this is just... I mean, catch out of position, and all of a sudden we could see a huge team fight. Will that happen? Who knows? I mean, at this point, it's 40 minutes into the game, and both teams are just farming away and saying, la-di-da, we're just going to get some more gold for ourselves. So... I imagine Nyx Assassins wait out the Aegis, but we'll see what happens. That does prolong, and obviously it gives the Daedalus to Ember Spirit, so a couple more items are coming out. I mean, there's items on both sides, though.
This is just like the weight training right now. Top lane. As I say that, though, Mike makes the call to jump on an Ember, and Ember might be on the backside of this one, is able to get the BKB up, but the right click's too strong as TC rotates in, and Ember's going to get caught up on the side again. He has no buyback available. 75 seconds, he's going to be out of this game. So that's pretty big.
That's huge.
Big advantage in numbers right now for sneaky Nyx Assassins if they want to open up. Now, Weaver does still, of course, have that Aegis available. But, man, oh, man. I'm curious to see if they want to be able to bounce back on top of this one or just kind of take that as a notch in their cap for now. Because looking at the buyback potential for Ember, he still needs 1,200 gold, so he will not have it available soon. And also, Ogre going to fall right here in the hands of Mike on the bottom lane. Mike is all over the place right now.
You talked about wave clear, and the two heroes that have it, they're both dead. So it's time to go, I think, if you're Nyx Assassins. Push into the base, boys. Let's draw the
bottom,
line.
And they're adding pressure top. And even mid, they're starting to go on down. Now they jump on forward. Brax steps through, gets a hold of Angel. Angel still with double Ravage. Might need to consider pulling out as a defensive tactic right now, but it looks like they're just kind of dashing in and out. So they have two invested here on the bottom lane. We got two creeping down from the mid, both supports, and of course TC's holding his own there at the top lane where he's going to be side by side with his Weaver. So, man, why do I even bother looking away? They managed to open up here on the bottom. They get a hold of that Skywrath Mage, and now they're opening up on Angel. Angel can't even get his Ravage off. He needs to save it before his team comes back, but now he's down for 70 seconds. He won't be able to use it at all with no buyback.
Oh my gosh, they just gave this game away. Telekinesis Benjaz's Aegis is done now too. They're going to take a tier 3 tower and a lot more. There's no buybacks. Finally, Ember does get back in, but what can they do at this point? They're going to lose, I think, at least a set of racks. Maybe I'm wrong, but we'll see.
They're waiting for a moment to really make it happen, but that moment keeps passing, and now Brax right into the fray, does not care about his low life, is happy to take it down as he has a buyback available if necessary, but the point is, his top lane is where Terrorblade is getting it done. Space has been created, my friends. The Sneaky Nyx Assassins living up to their name, sneaky as ever, getting the job done from the north, instantly lose their set of racks at tier 3, and all of mid has been taken down as well. I didn't even notice mid go down.
Yeah,
I mean,
he sent like one illusion over there, and he just obliterated it with his Metamorphosis illusion, and he just went to work.
That's
and it looks like they weren't getting anything done in the bottom lane, but all the while they're just like, hey, by the way, your base, though, that's when you just, they all chat your base comes out.
I mean,
Sneaky Nyx Assassins.
I feel bad for not even noticing that the mid had been taken down. I saw on the minimap that TC was going to work on the top, so I can't even imagine on the side of Union Gaming. They're just like focused on when's the right time to maybe make something happen here on the bottom, as Brax is just like, I'm fine to go toe-to-toe till I'm dead. I'm sacrificing myself for the greater good because we're just taking apart your base, and it looked like not even Union Gaming knew what would happen. It was a pickoff after a pickoff and then another pickoff that allowed the Sneaky Nyx Assassins to unload on this base, and the game is now theirs. And really, for Union Gaming, they need to consider an all-in tactic.
Yeah, I mean, the all-in was, Benjas just bought his Butterfly. He has no buyback. The only buyback they have is going to be the Ember Spirit, which he didn't have, and that was the problem when he went for that Daedalus, is that he didn't have buyback, and nor did anybody else on their team, with the exception of the Weaver. So one pickoff turns into two pickoffs, turns into three pickoffs, turns into almost a team wipe, and by the time that's happening, all of their buildings are all gone. So all Nyx Assassins need to do now is play this methodically and take the last set of Rex bottom, which should not be an issue.
No,
it's very difficult for them to push out into the lane now that there is, the Megas in mid and top. So Union have to try to find something here, and I don't know what they're going to do.
This is rough, and from a team that had been making great use of buybacks early on, especially in the back of this Ember, getting a bit overzealous with their item investments and then getting caught out with the farm. And it ends up to come back and really bite them in the ass in this one, as they're unable to be back with their team to pull out a strong defense against this huge Terrorblade. And this might be their all or nothing as they push down the mid lane. Tidehunter has yet to take advantage of a double Ravage, and he really wants to. But man, Sneaky Nyx Assassin, props to them. They're not allowing him to make the opportunity. They're continuing to press forward. They finally get a hold of Fluff right here, but he just shields himself and continues walking away. And what's that have to say? If you can't even get a hold of the precious support like that, man, it's just rough right now. And here they go. This is it for them. But bottom lane, look who it is. It's good old IX Mike pushing on in. He's going to finish what they started and go for Megas. And I think Union Gaming are just like, well, we better just kind of go here. And if we can go for the jugular, that's great, because there's really no point in returning back home because home is gone.
Yeah, Brax takes down, a couple of buildings here. They do take down the Rax bottom, and everyone has to back Union
TC's
Gaming.
already in the base. This is over.
Yeah.
He just unloads.
Gonna be
283 plus 54. Tier 4s are going to crumble. I mean, yeah, Union Gaming are moving in. The supports are just lasting as long as possible to slow them down, but ultimately they're already unloading on the base, and this is over. Double kill for Ember, but that doesn't matter because Dota 2 is a game of objectives, Mott, and Union Gaming know it's over, and before they don't even pop out the GG, they already have the insta-disconnect, which prompts the immediate pause, and that's over. Sneaky Nyx Assassins, it looked like a bit of a struggling start, but they pull it back where it counts, and Terrorblade gets to that pinnacle final form, and they clear out the base.
Again, your base, though. I mean, like, they try to do that pub tactic where you just push down mid and hope to God you get something, but everyone had a buyback, and even if they didn't have buybacks, it wouldn't have mattered because you talked about it. TC is, he's a man. He went from this guy that couldn't even lift floaties to starts benching like 200.
Yeah.
And he's got a spotter there, IX Mike 88, and they just take down the towers, man. They blow them up. They blow up the Ancient as well. Big victory coming up from Sneaky Nyx Assassins.
They look good, and they certainly could use the extra bit of wins. It was a bit of a rough start early in the Summit 2 America. Right now they were standing at 1-2 as far as a record, so this puts them up to 2-2. For Union Gaming, they're at 0-1. Unfortunately, this takes them down to 0-2, so they desperately need to pull out a couple of wins. It's still really early here. I think the America division is still the most youthful of all of them, so we're going to see a lot of games come in the next couple of days. I know that I'll be in charge of that, so get ready for more American Dota. We also have a lot more happening for you today. That was just game number 1. We have 5 games happening today. Our next matchup is going to be Pain Gaming taking on the Gurg Squad, or also known as Ham Ham Clubhouse. If you like what you heard, catch me over on my Twitter at CoddleGuy. This handsome gentleman next to me is Mott. Catch him over on his Twitter at MottDota. Hang tight, folks. I believe there's going to be a small, maybe even no break whatsoever as we try to build up the new lobby and get into game number 2. It's been a pleasure as always. We'll be back in just a moment.